Well, we have Alex Rickett here, who is just graduated from the Design Media Arts Department and is a former computer science PhD student that sort of switched over to art. That's going to show some projects.
Great. Hi.
Hi.
So what are you going to show us?
Should we start with yours? Or should
Yeah,
we start
sure. Should we? Maybe we should talk about the attendee first.
Here, let's share. We'll share our.
So this,
Can you hear us?
Yes. And
Yes.
let me take it on the big screen. Okay.
right, run the video, Tyler.
Talk about it a little bit.
I will. This is a game jam that I and some of the other members of the lab ran and organized. And I'll start it playing. And like at the game lab, the UCLA Game Lab, we have like a pretty strong focus on like rapid iteration and making things quickly and a sort of hacking and prototyping mentality. And so game jams, which usually take place over a couple of days, and you like conceive of and create a project to mostly completion, like within a couple of days, is like something that we do a lot of. In this particular one, I'm gonna turn down the sound. We also are sort of like interested in like weird, overlooked, or like alternative histories of games. And yeah, I should not while the games are running. Particularly in the like early and mid 90s, when particularly CD-ROMs came out and became a sort of viable medium for storing games, suddenly the amount of data you could store in a game like jumped dramatically, and so you could include like in particular like pre-recorded video, and that was a sort of new thing that you could include in games. And the like pre-recorded video in games like of real people it looks very good compared to the sort of pixely weird hand-drawn or computer-generated graphics before. And so there was like a big push to try and integrate these like real video into games. But real video is sort of inherently like you can only go one or two directions, sort of like forward and back in time, and it's very like awkward and difficult sort of thing to work into games. But it was sort of like a boom at the time, and like with games like Night Trap and Sewer Shark, like a lot of people tried, and a lot of weird things were made, and they did not always go over very well. But it was a very like interesting time period in games. And so our game jam was, we looked at a bunch of those games, and people all had to design and create games involving real footage. And so the first one that comes up is like called Reach-O-Rama, and it's all like on footage from YouTube, where I think there's like this green screen of a hand that they found. And these interstitial videos, people ask for like particular things that you have to like move the hand to grab on the road.
So it was made during a game jam.
Yes, this was made during a game jam. So this was made.
It was quite 2 days, or how long was it?
I think the primary push was over 2 days, but everything sort of comes together at the last minute. This is a project me and one other person. Oh shoot! Hold I'll go back to that just for a second. This was a project me and a collaborator made. This was a little bit semi-inspired by like Mortal Kombat, where it wasn't exactly like pre-recorded video, but it was all like composed from photography of real actors and sort of turned into a fighting game. And so these were like sort of like photographic animations of like me, my collaborator, and his significant other. And I think also in the sky, sort of Teletubbies style, there's Al Stewart singing Ear of the Cat. And you move this cell phone around and you can change these sweater patterns on the people to match the cats that are about to pet. So
you mean the cell phone on the screen?
yeah, there's this right next to the guy in the red beanie, kind of in the lower left middle, there's this gold phone.
Okay.
Yeah, well, the thing with the like green stuff coming out of it.
Okay.
I think, yeah, it's a pretty silly project. Another one of the people who helped formulate the whole game jam made a tool for sort of comprising a like taking video clips and sort of composing them into choose your own adventure kind of style, like narrative games where you're sort of presented with simple choices and proceed through videos. So using this tool, he made a game where you play tic-tac-toe against him. And so here,
tic-tac-toe in video style. Okay.
yeah. But it's a little weird. Like he is talking to you the whole time, and like since he gets to go first, and since he designed the game, like there comes a point where he won't let you make a move to let you tie the game. So it's kind of an aggravating like jerk move on the designer point. But it's a really like it's like a comment on how like the design limitations of making these kinds of like purely tree-based games where you're sort of pretty much only along for the ride and your level of agency is very low in those kinds of games. Sort of as part of, usually with these game jams, we'll also do an exhibition at the end.
An exhibition in UCLA?
What?
Where would happen the exhibition? In UCLA?
UCLA, we have some exhibition spaces here.
Okay.
And usually what we'll do then is we will try and show some other projects that were made previously, because often the number of people involved, just to make it a more sort of full show. So this was like an older project I made. If I can get back to it. There's more sort of standard competitive sports style kind of game where you're grappling around these balls. And this was a simulated game of Russian roulette where you take turns picking up the pistol and spinning the barrel. That's pretty morbid, but.
And when you say they were exhibited, it's playable.
Yes.
Okay.
So I don't know. I think I can show you some pictures. This project is extremely difficult to explain. It was. If I'm gonna explain it, it's just gonna sound like nonsense. But it's the music video for Bruce Springsteen's Dancing in the Dark, and he used processing to create this extremely elaborate tree of decisions that were all sort of procedurally mined from, I think, Yahoo weird news stories. but it sort of like keeps folding back in on itself, and it's very difficult to like actually go through the video because each like decision goes to like different parts of the video. That's a pretty weird one. But here are some shots of the exhibition. So we had like the projection of the hand game on a big rear projection. Another shot of that. Another shot of that. We made like a real world version of the table from the roulette game and had that on the wall.
So it's the game jam is the first step, and then you think about where you exhibit it.
Yeah, I mean it's really nice when you get a bunch of people together and have them make something. It's nice to have a sort of like to make it feel like a party and to give people a sense that they're working towards something and to know that whatever you're making will like go out into the world and other people will see it. So it's very much about sort of propelling people and creating like good positive pressure to produce.
And this game jam was made with game students, or was it open to everybody who wanted to join?
It was open to anyone who wanted to join. I think the primary people who were involved were undergrads and grads from our department. But we've had other ones that have had students from other schools and from other departments. It's sort of depending on the time of year and the particular event. Like ideally, we want it to also be sort of an opportunity for people outside the lab to come and contribute and sort of cross-pollinate. So I think that's that one. Yeah, the next. Oops. The second project I want to talk about, which is one project, was a. It's a little hard to tell what's going on from just one video, but you have this cart, this yellow thing at the bottom of the screen. It has a projector that projects onto the ceiling, and also on the cart, one of the wheels is like a trackball or like a mouse, and so as you move,
Yeah, you have to catch. Okay.
Yeah. It also it uses an Oculus Rift, but only to correct for the rotation of the cart, so that the whole window doesn't turn, so that the 3D world stays the same. Like a little bit of a like misuse of the technology, but this was produced.
Where is the Oculus Rift?
It's in the cart. It just the compass is being used to help correct for rotation in the real world.
Okay.
Kind of like a whole like a mash of technology inside of this cart. But this was also produced at another game jam. There was a school from Switzerland that was visiting for a few days. Head Geneva.
Okay.
And so, yeah, we worked with them, and I and another grad, a previous grad from this program, and a grad from their school. We worked together on this, and that was. I think that one was all like. That one was sort of, we restricted a little more to our own department, but it was really fun to work with the people from that Swiss school.
And so the idea was also to collaborate. All these games are made by people who are working together.
It varies a lot. I think with game jams it tends to be more collaborative, but I think the non-game jam projects tend to be. It varies, but I think that it's rare for a team to be larger than 3, and I would say that most projects are only 1 or 2 people.
And the extra ball you showed us, how many times did you work on it? It was not a game jam in 2 days. It was
This
more
one,
like a workshop.
that was a 3-day game jam, but I did sort of over time. I did more work refining it, and that's hard to sort of quantify because it was it was sort of for events. I would do more work on it to improve it. But these are some photos of the other projects from the game jam. That one's pretty funny. They had made like a controller where they had a hot dog that you would, like it's a real hot dog with mustard on it that you would grab and slide up and down to control part of the game.
But at the end, you don't eat the hot dog, do you?
But you could, but it was really like mangled and gross. This was a project where they made like a painting palette controller, and you would use, I think they hid a Wiimote in the paintbrush, and you could point the paintbrush at the screen and press the buttons on the palette to play a sort of painting related game. This was a game where you would scan these translucent colored plastics to do something. I don't remember this one so well, but they laser cut and fabricated this very sort of nice box for it. I think it would give you like prompts, and you would have to like combine the colors to get something that matched with that. This was quite a while ago, so I have trouble remembering all of the projects. Oh, that was the other grad, so there he is. I think he was getting the track ball ready for that cart. There, I think these are some other people from the Swiss school. So that was a pretty busy one.
So the students of UCLA went to Switzerland, and students from Switzerland came to UCLA?
I think we didn't get to go to Switzerland. They came here. I think they have a little more like freedom with resources than our school system does.
Okay.
And that was the poster for it. Do you have any questions about what I showed, or what were you going to show some other stuff, Tyler?
Yeah, I mean, we depending if you want, we could show another project called Perfect Woman if there's time.
What time is it? Because we have another appointment in 4 minutes. So if you have 4 minutes if you can show us the project in 4 minutes, it's okay.
Yeah, it's ready.
1 second. So this was done by Peter Liu and Leah Schoenfelder. She was a visiting artist from Germany, and it's a game played with the Kinect. And you start off as a fetus, and you kind of go through life and make decisions as how to be kind of like the perfect woman. And each decision, there's 7 decisions, can kind of determine how difficult other life choices would be. So if you drink your youth away, for example, it might be harder to be kind of the MIT professor giving a TED talk. But I'll zoom back and you can kind of see Alex and kind of how the game is played. You can put your...
It's with a Kinect?
Yeah. So right now Alex is choosing to be the child worker. And so you have to match these positions.
Okay, just like Wii Sports, but with another story behind. Great.
This one's pretty sad.
But Leia's background is as like an illustrator and animator, and then Peter did some game design and coding for it.
It's great. So you're not very good at child working, it seems. So.
I guess it's easier for me.
So it was an artist coming into residency at Gamelab?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She was it in Kassel where her school was?
Yeah, I think it was Kassel, Germany. But I'm not exactly sure where what school. It was slightly before my time.
Yeah, I should know, but
And she came with the idea, or is it when she was at UCLA that she had the idea and worked with you?
This was made entirely during her tenure at UCLA. Some refinement was done afterwards, but the bulk of it was done at UCLA in collaboration with one of our students.
Maybe I think you are better in that position.
This one was an easier choice, given that I was a child worker, I guess. But
we can't see the results. Can you read it for us, please?
oh,
You'll have a great career, but you'll probably miss some fun.
so can't be a beach mom or a call girl easily. Yeah.
Great. Well, I think it's fantastic to end with this kind of work, and especially to see that there are some girls involved in UCLA Gamelab, because we didn't see many women in our marathon of labs. So it seems there are some women involved.
Yeah, it's partly just that the timing was really bad for it's a holiday today.
Okay.
So we have trouble getting a lot of our members here.
Yeah, we have
It's great. It's great.
Yeah, we have about 50% women in the lab, so
50%?
yeah.
Great. Quite a good news, because in hackerspaces and some of the Fab Labs we met, there are not so many women.
Yeah, I think it's something. It's a disappointing thing, and like it's hard to know what we should be doing, but it's something we think about all the time, and we're really.
We don't hear you anymore.
Oh, it's something we think about a lot, and it's a very like multi-dimensional, complicated problem. We're so excited to have as many women as we do.
Okay, well, it was a great pleasure to have you a second time, and first time for you. And I just want you to give me your name by Skype in a written way, so we can report it on the website with no misspelling. Okay?
Okay.
Awesome.
And thank you very much, both of you.
Yeah,
And,
thank you.
See you.
Yeah, bye.